Hey everybody, this is Demari, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the November 2019 tarot reading for the sign of Taurus. So I'm just going to get stuck in, I'm not going to faff around too much. So yeah, sorry my videos are not coming out as frequent as usual. I've had a lot of changes, particularly with my work situation and living situation. So I'm having to do them when I'm able to. Hopefully I'll be able to get into a new routine, and then I can bring out more readings for you more frequently. So thanks for your patience, I really appreciate it. I hope that these reads are really useful to you still. As such, I've noticed with this particular set that I'm doing for November has been generally a little bit longer. I hope you don't mind. Do let me know your thoughts afterwards if you feel like you prefer if I do shorter videos. It's just that obviously as and when the information comes, I feel like I need to relay that to you, so I can't really control the length too much, but of course if you prefer a shorter read, then I can look at that. Okay, so as usual I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross style spread using the Wild Unknown Tarot deck and clarifying with the intuitive. So I'm just going to get stuck in and lay that out for you now. So let's see what we have for you, Taurus, for the rest of November 2019. So to begin with then, your present circumstances, you have the High Priestess in reverse. So you may be feeling at this time the call to really go within and to allow your soul, your spirit to guide you towards what feels right for you. I feel like you may be making decisions based on advice, circumstances, what your mind is probably telling you, but I feel like the choices you need to make moving forward needs to be more intuitive based. So I feel like you really need to tap into your higher self and allow that to guide you at this time, because it may be that you're not able to see things clearly, and you're not necessarily making the right decisions because you're looking at it strictly from a logical side of things, but you're not allowing your feelings to play any role in that, and that may actually be a mistake. But we'll look at that. But that's what I'm feeling like, that you're relying too heavily on just rational thinking. Okay, so you're in the position of your challenger this time. You have the Chariot, Cancer energy. Okay, so it may be that you have Cancer in your chart. You could be dealing with the Cancer around you at this time in some capacity, or just simply the fact that you're being asked to embody this energy. Okay, that you move forward. You see how the sun is behind the horse, and the horse has the moon there, right in the third eye. They're using that intuition. As you can see here, there's the moon on the High Priestess behind the tiger here. So I feel like you're having to use your intuition to guide you, to move you forward at this time. So you're really being called to really go within, to get that feeling again, to know that inner knowing, to know where you're going, to go full steam ahead, in a specific direction without any kind of hesitancy. Okay, you're moving forward, but it's not in a blind panic, it's controlled. Okay, it is forward motion with that knowing and optimism and just like absolute determination, right? It's that unwavering belief, okay, that comes with this energy. So that's really important at this time for you, Taurus, that you need to embody that right now. Okay, and we will clarify it further to see exactly what it may be pertaining to, but that's what I'm seeing at the moment, that you really need to go within, tap into that inner knowing, tap into yourself, and allow that to guide you forward. Okay, so in regards to your past circumstances, recent past, you have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So I think there was a lot of pathways that were opened up to you recently. A lot of it was very conflicting. I feel like even though you felt like there were opportunities, none of them really spoke to you, okay? There was nothing that made you feel like, okay, this is where I need to move forward. none of it felt right in your eyes. And you're kind of just tired. You're tired of things kind of moving around you, but nothing really feeling like it's of real substance. And I feel like that's what you're feeling you're lacking at this time, an opportunity that really feels worth you investing your time and energy into. It doesn't fulfill you, creatively in your passions, or it doesn't make your soul sing, right? So you're just kind of feeling a bit stagnant right now, and you're just waiting for a change to happen, a big change in regards to your work or your hobbies, right? Your passions, your interests. But that is coming to an end. It's just obviously there's something that needs to happen first. And I feel like, again, you tapping into yourself and getting that knowing and that feeling of what it is that you want and what you're looking for, that will help to guide you towards the right path for you at this time. So without you really fully being into that space of knowing and feeling what it is that you want, it's going to be very hard to find that, right? Because there will be various opportunities, but again, they're not necessarily going to be aligned with what would really make you happy, because you don't know what's going to make you happy. So, it's kind of a mirror of you right now. That's what I'm saying. Your circumstances is mirroring how you're feeling inside. So that's why it's really important that it's clear in your mind what it is that you're aiming towards, okay? So, in regards to your near future, you have the World card. So I feel like this is you coming full circle. This is you realizing a lot of things, learning from your mistakes of the past, understanding what it is that you're trying to accomplish, knowing what may be causing, not necessarily a halt to your progress, but like what's slowing your progress down, knowing what steps to take and how to approach things by being able to see it through a new lens, right? That's what I feel like. I feel like you're being brought full circle so that you can make the right decisions in order to move forward and to really upgrade yourself in terms of your personal growth. But again, we'll clarify this further to get more information. So in relation to your feelings at this time, you have the Hierophant, okay? So I feel like the universe is trying to communicate, and I think you're hearing the call, but you're afraid of what that call may be. I think you're a little bit afraid of that if you answer, what will be the circumstances that result, okay? That's what I feel like. I feel like there's hesitancy to answer the call because you're afraid of the consequences. But you gotta understand the universe has your back, okay? It's trying to help you for a reason. I don't feel like this is in relation to the person. I feel like this is literally the universe trying to guide you at this time. And, there is fear around answering the call. You're being called to something. Something is trying to be brought to your attention at this time. But you're afraid to answer the call for some reason. I think you're afraid of what could happen as a result. But you're being, the universe is trying to reassure you in various different ways that it's for your best, in your best interest, that it's for your own good, and that actually it's going to help you to move towards something that's more aligned to what it is that you actually want, okay? So and I'm really feeling that strongly, this energy from the universe that it's trying to guide you forward. It has your back. It wants you to see things from a new perspective. It wants you to be able to see clearly and objectively what it is that you need to do in order to move forward. So in relation to what's crowning you at this time, so what's within your power to affect, you have the Death card, okay? So you see how you've got like the crow with the key here, and the Hierophant, and then you've got the dead crow here, with the Death card, okay? So this is the universe trying to communicate to you that it's time for a phoenix rising, okay? That you need to die down, you need to let the old ways die. Everything you thought you were, everything you thought life should be, your perception of your circumstances, all of those old habits need to die, because you have a major rebirth on the horizon. I feel that. So it's within your reach to step into that, okay? Because that's where you're headed anyway. So you can either make things easier for you and move towards, right, this rebirth here with the Chariot, or you can fight against it and allow your fear to win, and that's going to cause more conflict and more issues for you. So you have to embrace this ego death that you're going to experience, because that's what I feel like it is. I feel like there will be an ego death on some level, and you're going to have to rise from the ashes, because you're being burnt down for a reason, in order to be rebirthed, reborn, okay? So that you are brought into alignment with where you're headed to, okay? So it might sound dramatic, and it might sound like it's going to be this big upheaval, emotional upheaval. I don't feel like that. I feel like it's literally, like the shedding of old skin. It's just letting it all fall off you. As gross as that might sound, it's just letting it all shed off you and burn down, and just be in your fresh new skin. Okay, kind of like a snake. When a snake sheds its skin, it's not painful. It can be uncomfortable. It can be unsettling. It can take time. But then once that last piece is gone, it's like, oh, finally, I just feel so much better now, you know. And you can get on with being a snake. It's kind of like that. So it's not as dramatic as it sounds. And as I said, on the ego death level, it's not a full ego death. I feel like you've already been going through this process. It's more of just that final shedding, okay? So I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it as best as I can. So if it doesn't make sense, you can just tell me in the comments, like, Brenda, what the fuck are you talking about? Elaborate, or, you know, clarify, please. Because, yeah, I know that's not necessarily the best way to explain things, but I am trying my best, so bear with me. But yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just tell me, and I'll answer your comments. But hopefully that made sense. So moving into your advice here, the card that's in the position of the advice, you have the Sun. So this is it. This is where you're being brought towards, you know, the Sun. You know, this is, you know, limitless joy, bliss, happiness, right? This is you in your rawest form. This is your soul unleashed, okay? So if you allow this process to happen and not fight against it, if you surrender to the process, you're really going to feel very, very different. You're going to see very differently how things are. And you will see circumstances around you changing very, very quickly, I feel. So embody that, embrace it, let it go and step into the bliss, okay? Because it's just around the corner. So in regards to your external influences at this time, so this can be your circumstances, people, environments, okay? You have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like maybe in some sense of your situation, you may feel you've invested more than others have. So maybe in your relationships, not necessarily romantic, it could be friends, family, you feel like you've invested a lot more energy and time into nurturing these connections than the other people or the other person. It could be that in your work situation, you've invested a lot of time in perfecting your skills, your craft. You've invested a lot of time into a particular job role that you've been carrying out for some years, and you're not seeing the benefits. You're not being promoted. You're not being, you don't receive the pay increase that you've been asking for, right? You know, whatever it is. You feel like you've invested a lot, but you're not receiving it back, I feel like, at this time. And that's kind of ticking you off, particularly when it comes to, you know, your relationships. If that applies on that level, I feel like that's going to play more of an impact on what's burdening you at this time than those of you where it's just like, you know, financially related or work related. Sure, it's still going to bother you, but for those of you where it's in regards to your relationships and your connections with people, this is going to be having more of a toll, I feel. But we will look at that as well. So in regards to I think your fears, this is what I'm feeling with this, because sometimes it feels switched around. Sometimes the hopes comes out or the fears comes out first. But I feel like in this case, this is your fear, okay? So you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like with this, it's a case of you're afraid that the universe doesn't have your back. You're afraid that it's going to pick you up just to let you fall. That it's just going to make you believe that you have control over some circumstances. Just so that you can go through hardships again. And I don't feel that that's the case at all. I feel like providing that you let go of this fear and the fear of the unknown and the fear of surrendering to the will of the universe and surrendering to your own soul calling, right? Then you will find yourself in those old cycles, those old patterns. But those are falling away, okay? You're being brought like back to zero in order to learn and, you know, show your learning, okay? Because there's things that you need to that need to play out, right? You have to come back to zero because that's going to allow you to put all that you have learned into practice so that you can change your circumstances, because those circumstances will not go away until when there is a time and a place to really move out of that space. You need to exercise certain things, okay? You need to demonstrate that you've understood and that you know what needs to happen to help you get out of those circumstances, right? So that's the thing here. So while you feel like you're afraid that things are only going to be, you know, there's going to be some false hope here, I think the truth is what you need to be more concerned about is that you don't sabotage your own progress, okay? That's what I feel. So in regards to your hopes at this time, you have the Hanged Man in reverse. So I feel like you do want to see things from a new perspective. You don't want to be caught at this crossroads of, you know, things never changing and, you know, feeling like, well, if it never changes, then what's the point in me changing, and just things going on in a loop. I don't think you want that. I think you know that you have to evolve, okay? And that certain things need to happen in order for your circumstances to change. So I think you are looking at things from a more objective view than you may have previously. I think you may have been a bit reluctant in the beginning, but I feel like now you're kind of embracing, okay, maybe I do need to look at things differently. Maybe I need to reevaluate everything that's been happening. Maybe the problem isn't everything and everyone else, but maybe I need to look at myself first. Or maybe, you know, I need to let go of something so that I can heal and move forward. Whatever it is, okay? There's going to be some self-reflection here. Because you kind of want that. You want to look at things differently. You want to operate in a different way. You want to move differently, right? So you know that if you want to move differently and operate in different circles, the change has to come from within, okay? And you're aware of that. So I feel like you will be doing more of that work anyway, which is good. That's awesome, Taurus. So in regards to your outcome then, you have the Daughter of Swords in reverse. So that's the Page of Swords in reverse. So yeah, I feel like you've kind of been on the sidelines for a long time, just looking in at your life and thinking, okay, how do I actively change this? How do I improve my circumstances? I feel like you felt more like a bystander in your own life than an active participant. And that's funny because I've had this feeling for more than one sign now. But I feel that particularly for you, Taurus, that you feel like life is just happening around you and nothing has actually been happening for you. But I think you're going to realize that that's not the case, that actually you are being put through your paces for a reason. And that, you know, you do have to come to a point where you just relinquish some of this like tight grip that you have over everything, every aspect of your life. You have to unclench and let go, okay? and just allow things to move forward, allow things to flow in your life, allow circumstances to come and go, allow people to come and go, so that you can see what is truly solid in your life, what truly has a place in your life. And that doesn't will fall by the wayside, so you can make way for the newness, okay? Because there is a lot of positivity on the horizon, but unless you let go of that iron fist and that bull mentality that you have a little bit, you're not going to see that, okay? So that's really, really important. Okay, so now I just want to clarify, we've got a good overview of what's going on here. It's a very, very interesting time for you, Taurus. A lot of learning is taking place, a lot of, this is like, you know, you've been through, put through various tests, and now this is like the final exam, right? It's kind of like that. So you can see really where you're at this time. And, you know, it's like, okay, I can see that, you know, you've understood, and you know, you're willing to put the work in, and you know, you can adapt. So okay, let's try a new set of circumstances, right? And it's not that you're constantly just being bombarded, even though it may feel like that. It's just that there's at times as well when the universe is trying to offer a hand and bring something very positive into your life. You may not be ready to receive it because of the way you're looking at things, or because of the energy you're operating in at that time. So if you're not able to receive it, then the universe can't provide it, right? So let's have a look then. So what's going on here with the High Priestess in reverse? What is it that Taurus needs to know regarding tapping into that intuition and allowing spirit to guide them from within? Okay, so you have the Moon card in reverse, and you have the Four of Swords in reverse. So yeah, there's some truths that need to come out from within. There's some realizations that you need to have. There's some kind of epiphany. Something will dawn on you. When you really connect with yourself, you'll start to realize many things all at once. And through that realization, if you surrender to the grieving process and the healing that will follow, you will heal, you will change, you will evolve dramatically. But you have to be willing to be completely objective with yourself and to be open to what your spirit, your own soul is trying to reveal to you at this time. So it's going to take courage on your part. I'm not going to lie to you, Taurus. There will be things that come up possibly from the past that you're not you've been trying to run from, but you can't at this time. You need to address it so that you can begin that healing, okay? Because you are being guided, you know, towards a higher path. So it's important that you allow this healing to take place so that you can recalibrate, okay? So in regards to the Chariot in the Chariot in the position of what's challenging you at this time. Okay, so you have three cards here. You have, this is interesting, you have the King of Swords in reverse. So again, that's saying, you know, don't be so forceful and rational about things all the time. You know, don't just use everything, don't just use your brain to make all your decisions for you, because you're missing a vital element here, i.e. your intuition, your heart, your feelings do matter. But you've become very hardened, and you've come from a very stubborn, just rational viewpoint, so you need to kind of loosen that up a little bit and loosen that grip again. You have the Page of Cups here again, so learning how to emotionally connect with yourself again. Learn how to really embody playful, loving energy and come out of that hardened, you know, battle-weary king energy, you know, that King of Swords energy there. And then you got the King of Wands. So this is some real, like, heavy, not heavy, but like really intense energies. So yeah, this is obviously the swords there, that's very much air energy, Cups, air, water energy, and then the King of Wands here, fire energy. So these are all all the other elements. I can't even speak anymore. What's going on? These are all elements that are not distinctly yours, Taurus. That's what's so interesting about it. But it's asking you to embody a little bit of those. I feel like you have been already embodying that King of Swords energy. So that's real air energy. So it could be that you have air signs in your chart somewhere, you know, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, right? So you could have those in your chart already. You could have those in your chart, or it could be that you're just simply embodying that energy. But you need to kind of not allow that to be what's ruling you at this time. You need to find balance with that energy. So that's why you're being asked to move forward with a more playful, more nurturing, and, you know, that kind of innocent, loving energy, okay, of the Page of Cups there. But also embodying this fiery energy, passionate energy of the King of Wands, okay? Because he is the creator. He's the one that gets things done. Okay, he has the vision, the creativity, the passion behind it. He's the innovator, okay? So that's why you're kind of being asked to call it, to step into that energy as well, so that you can move forward. Okay. So it could also be that you have water or fire in your chart also. So just take it however it applies. But for all of you who sorry, I will be able to speak. For those of you who this reading applies for so far, you're being asked to embody the strengths of these different elements, okay, in these formats. So the King, the Page, okay. So take it as it applies, but if it does apply, you know, embody that Page of Cups energy, embody the King of Wands energy, okay. And I just saw the Knight of Cups in reverse as well. So take your time. It's not a rush, okay? When it comes to, you know, opening up emotionally. You're not going to be wanting to do that initially. I think you're going to be kind of resistant or reluctant to open up emotionally about your feelings and what it is that you want. But you're being called to do that, especially when it comes to communicating your desire, what it is that you're moving towards with the universe. You have to be a bit vulnerable, okay? But you don't have to rush it at the same time. Just take it step by step. Okay. So, interesting. In regards to your recent past with that 10 of Wands in reverse here, just so you can see, you have the 10 of Cups. So you're being asked to let go of, you know, all these heavy emotions from, you know, the circumstances you were dealing with. There's a lot of, I feel like there was a lot of letdowns where these opportunities that were coming up or these new connections that were being formed. I think a lot of them was a letdown to you. They didn't feel sincere. They didn't feel long lasting. There was a catch, or it would come at a price. The opportunities weren't as good as they seemed. And that caused a lot of headache, I think, for a lot of you who that applies for. I think it was very emotionally draining. I think for some of you it was quite upsetting, and you're just kind of done with it now. But the good thing is that is coming to an end, as I said. I think with a lot of these connections, particularly when it comes to people that are close to you, you're realizing that not all of them have a place in your life at this time. And while that may bring some initial heartache or you know, maybe causing some conflict by you trying to walk away, I think you know that it's in the best interest of everyone to do so, particularly for yourself. For those of you where it applies to more of work opportunities or some projects, creative projects, I think you know that it'd be more of an emotional burden than it's worth, so you're just kind of walking away because you know that it's not what it seems, that the people that may be giving you these offers are not as sincere as they could be, or there's something about it that you know is just off in some way. So you're just leaving all of that behind. Okay, so let's have a look at the world then. So what's coming up in the near future for you? Because you have the World card here, as I showed you before. So let's have a look. Okay, so you have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So again, I think you felt like, again, with these connections that you're leaving behind and these opportunities, there was a lot of you're finding out a lot of things about these people that are not so good. You felt like maybe you were stabbed in the back by some of them, that some of them didn't have your best interests at heart, that you can't communicate, on any rational level with them, that, yeah, the communication is very shallow and not very sincere. So you're just kind of going to be leaving that behind. As I said, you're going to be cutting off some ties with these people, and then when that happens, energetically, you will be brought full circle to see, okay, so how will you go about things now? When you meet new people, when you find yourself in new circumstances that present maybe some similar warning flags, how will you deal with it then, right? And you also got the Seven of Cups, so again, there will be more opportunities, particularly for making new emotional connections with people. So you could make new friends, you could find yourself a new romantic interest or explore options through dating, new partnerships on a business level. So yeah, there's going to be opportunities coming up, and that's where you'll be tested to see just what have you learned from all of this, okay? So in regards to your feelings with the Hierophant here then, i.e. the universe trying to show you the way out, trying to give you this opportunity that you've been asking for. You have, okay, 3 cards at once. So you have the Fool, which again, it all talks about new beginnings. You have the Knight of Wands, okay, so moving decisively and very passionately again. So more, you had the King of Wands, and you got the Page of Wands, so more fire, okay, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, so you could have any of those in your chart also. But either way, you're wanting to move passionately towards something. You want a new beginning, you want a fresh start with something, someone, new adventures elsewhere, new opportunities, a change of pace, right? And then you got the Ten of Wands. So this is the end. The universe is saying, look, I can give you these things. All of this is coming to an end, okay? And there is a new beginning on the horizon. You can have everything that you've been asking for, but are you brave enough to take a leap of faith? Are you willing to take a risk? Are you willing to let old habits, old ways, old beliefs, viewpoints, identities die? Right? Are you going to allow it to shed off you, because it's already coming to an end? The death is happening regardless. So you can either fight against it or you can embrace it. So that's what the universe is communicating at this time. Okay? And I feel like this is what you want. But yeah, there is some hesitancy because it's a big change and you know it. But ultimately, you do want this because this is in your feelings, okay? All of this is in your feelings, so I think you feel it intuitively. That's why you're being guided to, yes, listen, okay? Listen to what your intuition is telling you, because you feel that what the universe is communicating to you. You feel it at your core. But you are a little bit afraid. I can feel that. Not so much see it, but I feel it more than see it. I can see it, later on in the reading, but in this position, I can feel it. There is some hesitancy because you're afraid of, if you answer the call, what will be the outcome, right? So in regards to the circumstances that are crowding you, what's within your power to affect with the Death card here. As I said, you can embrace it or you can fight against it. But you have, oh my gosh, so much coming up for you, I swear. So you have the Two of Pentacles, so partnerships. Balancing things out, no more juggling between two things anymore, but finding an equilibrium, allowing that juggling act to die and just find balance within the self, okay? Going back rather than going back and forward. The Ace of Cups in reverse. Letting the thing that you pinned all your hopes and fears and your emotional fulfillment on fall away. Nine of Pentacles, knowing what's going to make you feel abundant, knowing that the abundance comes from within, and that no amount of material possessions, no amount of, back scratching is going to bring you that fulfillment. It has to come from within. And the Eight of Swords, knowing when to let, things just lie by the wayside. Knowing that, by trying to continue the conflicts you have with people, by trying to continue certain aspects of the situation, is only bringing harm to yourself. So let it all go. Okay? So that's what you're being guided to do right now. And you have the power to do all of these things. This is what's crowning you. So this is what you can change at this time, alright? Okay. So let's clarify the glorious sun card here in the position of your advice, because honestly, you do that and you will see the sun. If you do this, you will see the sun. Okay. Oh gosh. So, clarifying the sun, you have the High Priestess again, okay? But this time in the upright, so you see the difference, right? This is, if you really tap in to your core and listen, i.e. High Priestess here, if you embody this energy, you will find the bliss, okay? If you let go of this feeling of lack, of being disregarded, of not being cared for, of not being protected or guided by the universe, you will see blessings all around you, okay? You will see what is trying to be manifested for you, okay? So it's, again, it's a perception shift that's required mostly at this time. And then really taking time out to listen to what your own spirit is trying to communicate with you at this time. Okay. So what about the external influences? Because we had, if you remember, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here. So let's see what we can clarify, what we can find in regards to clarification for that. Okay, so you have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Wands in reverse. So, yeah. So, because you feel like you've been taken advantage of, or that you've invested way more than others have into a circumstance, into a connection, connections, a project, your work, whatever it is, whatever aspect of your life this falls under, because you felt like you've invested so much more than the other person, you're starting to get a little bit defensive. I feel like you're getting a bit guarded, because you're like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. Why should I be the one to invest all this energy? Why should I be the one to invest my time and resources when the other people are not doing it as well? This needs to be more balanced, right? So I feel like you're getting kind of guarded, and you're not opening up in regards to specific things surrounding your feelings, but they can probably see that you've become much more guarded, okay? That you're not as open and not as willing to invest as you were before. And then you got the Three of Wands in reverse as well. So I feel like you were waiting for a long time for these specific people or this specific person to show you that they're willing to turn up fully, okay? That they're willing to invest in the same thing as you, whether it's into a relationship, into a friendship, a business partnership, or invest in you as an employee, or invest in you as someone who's working their way up the ladder, into higher management, or whatever it is, whatever capacity it is, or invest in your career or your creative endeavor, whatever it is. I feel like you were done waiting to see if someone else or others are going to turn up and show that kind of commitment, show that kind of investment, because you don't see it happening. I think you know that it's not going to happen, or you at least feel like it's not happening, because I've been here all this time, I've been waiting, I've been doing the work, I've been pouring in, and I'm just seeing nothing from it so far. So why waste my time? So you become quite guarded now, because you feel like that's it, they're wasting your time. So in regards to your fears here with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Two of Wands. So you really don't feel in your power right now. And that's what's allowing this fear to take hold, right? Because not only do you not trust in the universe, you don't trust in yourself. You feel like, but I can't do it, I haven't got this, I haven't got that, or, you know, everything always goes wrong for me, I'm a failure, or whatever it is. I feel like you're really not in your power, you're not feeling balanced. You don't have that self-belief. So if you're not even believing in yourself, of course you're not believing in anything else, right? So there lies another problem. So that's why you really need to take time out for yourself and tap into what it is that your soul is communicating. Oh gosh. Okay, and you did get the Four of Pentacles again. So you're hoarding certain things, I feel like. You're hoarding certain... yeah, you're holding back because you're afraid that if you just let go and take the plunge, you're going to fall. The universe won't catch you. And that you can't rely on yourself to get back up again because you're just tired, you've done it too many times. And that you don't feel like you can make it if you just take a blind leap of faith. You don't feel like you and yourself can make it. So you're holding back and you're not taking risks because you don't want to lose more than you already have. You're afraid that you won't gain more than you already have, so you're holding back, right? So in regards to then your hopes, that Hanged Man in reverse, so coming out of this crossroads and stepping into newness, seeing things with a fresh pair of eyes. Interesting. So we had the Two of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Wands. So you've got, let me just get this straight. You have the Page of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands, and you have a King of Wands here. I think you really want a family. And that might sound a bit obvious because of what's come up, but like, and you might be like, what the hell? Like, I didn't ask for that, I don't want that. I feel like for some of you, you actually really want a family. At the core of all this, you want to set up a very stable, loving family life for yourself. Even if you don't have children at this time or a partner or even a partner, I feel like you want the 2.4 children set up, right? You want a wife or a husband or a partner, you know, a commitment on a strong level, and you want children, or you want, you know, a pet or something, you know, you want that real family life. And that's what I'm seeing. So you're like having to make a decision here. Well, you were making a decision regarding what it is that you truly matters to you, right? And I think you already decided what you want, and you want your soulmate. You want, because when you get a pair like this, we're talking, you know, soulmate connections, okay? So I think you really want to find, you know, your family here, right? Because you also got the Knights of Wands here. So yeah, I think you're trying to find your soul family. And you really want that more than anything. You already decided that's what you want most of all. You want your soul family. So it might not even be that you want to create like an actual household like that, but you just want to connect with your genuine soul family. So you feel like you're investing in the right connections. You know it to be the right connections. And that they will have your back and that it's mutual and everything's balanced. So that's what I feel like you want more than anything. If it's not in the traditional family sense, it's just that you want to be in this tight-knit group of people that you feel are your soul family. Which is really beautiful, actually, Taurus. You know, and I do understand that need to be connected with aligned people, or people that are in alignment with you, because obviously that has a massive impact on your well-being. It has a massive impact on how you view things. You know, those you spend your time with have a massive impact on how you start to act and how you behave and how you see things. So it is really important. I do understand that. So the fact that you're looking for your soul family so that you can have this little tribe and, you know, really just be in this space of bliss here, right? That's awesome. I love that. I love that for you, Taurus. Because you have this very grounding, earthy energy about you, of course. While you can be stubborn and you can be a bit difficult to deal with, ultimately, you know, you're very homely and, you know, you want those things, right? So I do understand that. Okay. So what about the Daughter of Swords in reverse here in your outcome, which is the Page of Swords? Let's have a look. Okay, so you have the Three of Pentacles and the Hanged Man in reverse. So, if you come out of that space, well, rather, let me put this the other way. If you want this, if you want this commitment, if you want this soul connection, you are going to have to look at things differently. But you're also going to have to be aware that it also depends on the course of actions that you take, right? That these connections can only come together if you embody those energies that are actually innate to you, okay? If you allow learned behaviors and your ego to override those things, you will not be able to align fully with these people or with this other person in order to have that kind of connection and that kind of setup, right? So it's really important that you do the inner work, okay? So that you can come together, the universe can create this scenario for you all to meet, okay? So it's going to take a bit of work on your part, but it is doable, okay? I do see that it can come in for sure. It's just that there's some things you need to do in order for those circumstances to fall into alignment, okay? So yeah, that's what I have in regards to your November read, Taurus. I hope that makes sense. And I hope this was useful for you. If it didn't resonate, that's fine. Obviously, this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to everybody. But I feel like this was very, very intense, the energy, but in a very positive way. Very powerful, very uplifting, you know. It was like really bringing you back into your power. That's what I felt with it. This is the whole point of this message, that you are being guided to be brought back into your power and to be operating from not a place of ego, but a place of understanding and balance, right? And being grounded. So I love this reading for you, Taurus. I think it was perfect for those of you it resonated with. So yeah, do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And yeah, I'll do another reading for you very soon. So thanks for watching.